This part of the morning is dedicated to just really just taking in what's happening in schools that are represented in this room. But keep in mind that what's represented in this room is a pretty nice slice of Minnesota. It's probably not even far from being a nice slice of the country in some ways. So just sort of think about that. That right now there's a lot of kids represented in the data that you'll see. And thank you guys so much for getting it into us. We're intentional about getting a baseline so that we all know together what we're working with here. And we also know that we have to be intentional and hold ourselves accountable to seeing progress as a result of your time together here. To get people like you in the room together this often over time is not easy. So we're really intentional about getting to it, getting right to the matter, the heart of the matter as fast as we can. And the first, in year one, it's about getting clear on this baseline. So what are we talking about? So every school has a set of data up here. Everybody's got challenges. So just take nothing personal. This is a collective group of sets of data that represent the work that's being done in a whole lot of schools in the state of Minnesota right now. And we all collectively take ownership for it all. That's how we see it. So what we wanted you guys to do is say, okay, so what's the really hard question that you haven't answered yet about the thing that you noticed? So what's the next deeper, harder question? Did you come up with it? Yeah. So we want to hear that.
We want to hear, what's the next question?
Or statement or observation, you know, yeah.
So at our table, we talked about how the structure of education in the United States, how it was set up and why it was set up for middle-class white families. And we're noticing that in the data that if you put more students, so if you put children who are labeled as children of color or children who are labeled as high poverty, it kind of shakes the system. So if you put a high concentration of those individuals in the school, we don't know what to do. We're not equipped with that, with those needs of those individuals. However, if there's just a few, then we can be more equipped for that. But we have to think that the system was not made for Black students, for Hispanic students, for Asian students to begin with in the United States. So we're operating in a system that was not built for these students and expecting them to be successful by doing the same things as they have been for years.
We struggle, and so the data shows it.
And if that's the fundamental issue, lots of the other things that we're doing are not going to, they're going to take care of it a little bit, but they're not going to change what's occurring.